the book of Genesis, God said, "It's not good that a man should be alone." From the very beginning, Scripture makes it clear that relationships matter to God. Families matter, marriages matter, and how we relate to one another deeply affects our spiritual, emotional, and even physical well-being. Hello everyone, and welcome to Family Health and You. I am Chantal Guthrie, and this is Bless TV, where we catch the vision and join the mission. Today we begin a very powerful and timely conversation on what it means to have healthy relationships in a hurting world. Our guest is Dr. Anthony L. Gordon, counseling psychologist, family relational health therapist, author of 11 books, and the founder of Family Relational Health Services International, a ministry and professional practice that has impacted families over 30 countries. Dr. Gordon has spent more than 40 years studying, treating, teaching what he calls family relational health, approaching relationships not just spiritually or emotionally, but as something that can be assessed, diagnosed, and healed, much like the body itself. Welcome, Dr. Gordon, to the big white chair. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Chantal. Thank you.
Wonderful,
I just
wonderful.
love the way you captured it.
Mercy. Excellent. I'm happy that I got the stamp of approval.
You got it. You got it.
So, Dr. Gordon, family relational health is, still a relatively new term for many people.
Yes.
How can you define it in the simplest of way for us?
Wow. In the simplest of way, family relational health. In the simplest way is simply how healthy is your relationship. You see, once we use the word health in mainstream society,
Yes.
that suggests how do you feel in your body.
How do you feel in your body?
So, in other words, if I were to ask you, Chantal, how's your health? Very likely say, oh, well, last time I went to my doctor, he checked me and he gave me that and that. So, how's your health? State and function of the body. So in mainstream society, we're inclined to limit the concept of the focus on health on our physiological state of being.
Interesting.
However, the World Health Organization, sometime about 1948,
Yes.
published what would be considered a succinct, comprehensive understanding of health,
Okay.
which says that health is not just about the physical being, but about the total
body.
being, which includes all the other Al's, emotional, mental, social,
Spiritual.
and of course, from a World Health Organization, spiritual might not be there in the way we understand spiritual,
it, correct.
but nonetheless spiritual.
Correct.
So here we go again. So family relational health is a subject that I've developed over my, as you correctly said, 40 years as I work and interact with families. But why health? Why did I not just say family relationships? Why health? Because to the same extent that the absence of war does not necessarily mean that there is peace. So it is that the absence of physical disease or infirmity does not necessarily mean that you
you're
are
in good health.
Because there's another aspect of health that mainstream society tends not to focus on, and that is our psychological health. Now, the truth be told, the next name in mainstream society is mental health.
And I don't want you to jump on that jacket. I don't want you to get ahead of me. I don't want you to get ahead.
But
let me put some brakes on you right there. Do you think that family relational health deserves its own field in healthcare?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The truth be told, among my 4 books that are in advanced writing stage right now, one is...
You mean 4 additional books?
Yes.
Okay.
Family Relational Health, a comprehensive answer to total health care.
Okay.
And I'm publishing that for the medical community.
Okay, okay.
And there are two others in that same series. So the answer to your question, oh, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
We need to have family relational health as a practice that augments the focus on mental health
Yes.
and the focus on physiological health.
Okay, now I want us to press gas on the mental health.
Let's go
What's
for
the
it.
difference between mental health and family relationship
Let's talk.
health? Is it the same, or is it, is there complete difference? Tell me.
Then let's go. So let's look at succinctly what is mental health.
Okay.
When we talk about mental health, we're talking about the state and function of one's mentality, one's reasoning ability, and all of that. Now, the opposite
Yes.
of mental health is mental illness. Now, clinically, when we talk about mental illness, we're talking about a malfunctionality of the brain and its supportive glands, organs,
Okay.
so that, and that's why you might hear the term chemical imbalance.
Right. I've heard that
What
term.
it means is that the various hormones and chemicals produced by various glands and sections of the brain, when these hormones and chemicals are out of balance,
Okay.
hence we have chemical imbalance, and
Gotcha.
we diagnose the person as having a mental illness. So actually we're talking about a malfunctionality of the brain and the organs as it relates to family relational health. We're talking about the functional relationship between parties.
Right.
And the opposite of that is family relational illness, which is a psychosocial factor. But if it's not treated, it can exacerbate and go on into mental illness.
So then, Dr. Gordon, are you saying then that someone can be mentally healthy but relationally unhealthy?
To some extent.
To some extent.
And if it's not treated, then what we could end up having is a breakdown. Because you see, we are a composite being. And if we anchor this in the Bible, Chantel, go to Psalm 139:14, where David says, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. When I extrapolate that, I see David under inspiration alluding to his physiological being. Fearfully and wonderfully made. But then he didn't stop there. He said, marvelous are thy work, and that my soul knoweth right well. When he used soul, he was alluding to the mind.
Okay.
So the composite human being is body and mind.
Right.
But the mind is the engine of the being.
Of the being.
If the mind is not healthily functional, the being is impaired. And that's why we can have now a new term now, psychosomatic illness.
And what is that?
Psycho means mind. Soma from Greek means body. When the mind overpowers or directs the functionality of the body, when it is impaired, that's psychosomatic illness. In other words, the impaired mind throws off the body.
All right, so I don't want our viewers to go off now diagnosing themselves.
No. That's a clinical work.
So how is it, just to find out, especially for our viewers, when it is that we're having those kind of imbalances, when you feel like you're having those kind of imbalances, and listening to you, etc., where do we go to ensure that the chemicals are aligning?
Well, the truth be told, ideally, to the same way that we go to the medical doctor for our checkups, we should go to the family relational health therapist, the psychologist, not necessarily because something is wrong, but we should go and have
A checkup.
How our relationship is. But I need to say something here. You see, we do in mainstream society again,
Yes.
we don't don't see relationship as a matter for treatment. Treatment. We see it as a matter for counseling when something is wrong. So if somebody is not behaving well, you need to go to a counselor. and so the concept of counseling, to some extent, has stigma.
Yes.
And taboo to it. Because when you go see a counselor,
it's like you're already far gone. Something is wrong with you.
And so now,
right.
what I have done in my practice over these years is to seek to raise the bar in the treatment of relationships. Hence, the tagline to my practice is treating relationships the healthy way. And when we get there, I can tell you how we begin to diagnose relationships.
Kind of okay. In one of the things that you have developed is a 3-tier 36 subgrouping of the 68 interdynamic categories of family relationships. What a mouthful.
You got a full mouth there, yes.
Why is it so important for you to scientifically categorize relationships in this way?
You see, thank you. Because when we speak again of relationship, we are inclined to limit it to 2 main categories. Husband and wife, parents and children. And those which come after get a little mention. But the truth be, and so when we talk about, we're going to do a family life presentation.
Yes.
Essentially, you're going to talk about husband and wife and parents and children. And sometimes you hear a little something being said about singles.
Single, yeah, sometimes.
Throwing
a little thing.
Patronizingly.
Yeah, to be happy in your singleness.
Oh, right. But who speaks about the grands, the in-laws, the steps, the siblings, and the same way that medical practice continues to specialize from the hair to the toe. You have specialists who specialize in the hair and specialists who specialize in the toes, in fingers, in everything. Truth be told, all these various categories of families, and I have now delineated families into 68 categories.
Wow.
Into 3 tiers. And all these categories. So by the way, uncles need specialized treatment. Because what is happening to an uncle's psyche with his nephew, with his niece, is a total different thing than our father is to a son and a stepfather to a stepdaughter, and the dynamics.
Right.
So the old generalization of family, that's old school.
So you're carrying some new school, Dr. Gordon.
Because you see, the dynamics of society
changes, correct.
And we need to keep abreast.
Right. So, and in keeping abreast, how do we ensure that, how do we help our families practically with these tips and not just academically? You come in, you have such wide wealth of information and, experience, but what are some practical tips that you would like to share with our Blessed TV viewers?
Well, first of all, let's go right back to the matter of treating relationships.
Okay.
When we go to triage, to the medical facility, the clinic, before you see the medical doctor, the nurse checks your vitals. Those 4 vital signs: your temperature, your heartbeat, your
body mass index.
Body mass and all of those. And when you go into the medical doctor, sometimes before he or she even put any stethoscope or anything, just by looking at the reading, sometimes,
something is off.
Are you hypertensive? Are you diabetic? Are you so and so? How did he get that? He got it from the cue, from the vital signs. Now, in family relational health, I have developed 4 parallel analogical vital signs of a healthy relationship. Because remember this now, here's a bottom line theory of family relational health. All human relationships begin and continue to exist in the active, sound mind. All human relationships. Therefore, if we're going to really treat relationships, we need to find a way to measure, evaluate the status of the relationship in the mind.
I'm going to stop you right there because we have to take a break. And at the end of the break, we're going to be joined by, I'm not sure if she's the better half or the whole of Dr. Gordon, but we'll get a little bit from his wife as she'll be joining us in the big white chair. This is Family Health and You. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back after this break.
Celebrations, choices. Life is full of choices. Every day you make countless decisions, all adding up to determine the overall fabric of your life and, to a large extent, your health. Everyone has to deal with the consequences of their choices, but with the abundance of options to choose from, it's easy to forget about the impact they have. The good news is there's a solution. The key to decision making is intentionality. Intentionality means making evidence-based decisions. It gives direction and order to your life. Considering your choices with intentionality brings you one step closer to doing the right thing for your health, regardless of the choices you've already made. Today is an opportunity to choose better, to start fresh. You may not be able to change the consequences of your past decisions, but that's okay. You can choose to get over your mistakes and live better from now on. Invite God to be part of your decisions. Ask Him to help you make the right choice.
Welcome back to Family Health and You. I am Chantal Guthrie, and this is Bless TV, where we catch the vision and join the mission. We have been joined from we started with Dr. Gordon, and I told you just before we took our break that we're going to be joining by his better half, or I don't know if you want to call her his whole. Dr. Gordon, how long have you been with Sister Gordon? Let me put you in the hot seat. Let me see if you can. Who should I ask the questions? Who always forget things?
Well,
you answer, Dr. Gordon. You
all
answer.
right, okay.
No.
I can tell you how it all began.
Go ahead.
It actually began.
Short, synopsis.
Yes, when I stood on that pulpit that Sabbath,
Yes.
1973,
Whoa.
and I was about to preach, I saw the finest specimen of femininity sitting on the very front row.
Hold on a second. The Holy Spirit wasn't speaking to you.
That's when I preached. Because I saw the future.
Yes.
And that's 52 years now.
Wow.
And we're married going 50 years.
Going 50 years.
That's it.
Excellent.
And we hope we can get another. Well, if the Lord gives us another 50, we'll take it. Or if it takes us an eternity, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay, you'll take it. You'll take it. No problem. Sister Gordon, tell me one word that you could describe your husband with. Just one.
Faithful.
Faithful.
My Lord.
What happened, Dr. Gordon?
Help me, Lord.
You were wondering what she was going to say?
It's a challenge. Make sure you live up to that now.
That's right. Make sure you live up to that now.
Yes.
No, 50 years of marriage, 52 years of being together, which means that you know each other quite well.
Yes.
And you know a lot about marriages and family relationships, connectivity, that kind of thing. Now, and I know that both of you are advocates for balance and equality between husband and wife, especially in the area of sexual intimacy.
Wow.
Now, why is this critical when it comes down to relational health?
Well,
It is
Yes.
a binding tie.
A binding tie. I love how you say that.
it's
Like you're reminiscing over there, Sister Gordon.
Oh,
well,
yes.
You see, sexual health in a marriage could be considered as the glue that holds them together. And it enhances every aspect of our being, including our spiritual health. You see, again, I keep talking about mainstream society. There's a warped impression of sex and sexuality. We're inclined to see sex as a physical penis-vagina interaction. When in truth and in fact, ideally from God's opinion, sexual relationship is a total being. Because the most powerful sex organ is the brain.
And that's how God intended, even before sin, for population to take place. And because of that, because he gave it to husbands and wives,
And let me
so
chime
that
in.
we could continue for him where he left off or stopped in the Garden of Eden.
Nice perspective.
That's what it is.
Yes.
So our sexual relationship, in other words, God placed a minuscule portion of his creative power in my testes. And an equally small portion of his creative power in her ovaries.
Hallelujah.
And in our mind, he created
Sister Gordon, I thought you were going to come here and be quiet. You know? Go ahead.
And in our minds, he put a natural, I want to underline that word,
Natural.
a natural desire for each other. Why did I underline that? Because a controversial text in Romans chapter 1 verse 20, or somewhere thereabout, it says, in the latter day, men will leave the natural use of the woman and vice versa, and burn in their desire for one another, for each other. And that's not my word, that's the Lord's word. And that which is not natural is unnatural. That means it's contrary to God's original intent, as she said.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity to speak to, married couples and or to even persons who are courting, getting to that.
I prepare
state
about
of-
16 per year.
Wow, that's excellent. What are some practical tips that you can share so that persons can move away from, the cultural way in which we view sex, the cultural way in which intimacy is thought about, outside of just, just as you rightly said, you think it's not just about the penis and the vagina coming together,
Right.
but it's about, getting into your mind, having a different sort of intimacy. What's the first step? Let's say, my husband and I, we only see our penis and our vagina just meeting. There is no real intimacy. There is no real connection. What's the first thing that we should do?
You heard the first word you just used?
Connection.
And where does connection begin? With the mind. You have to connect with each other.
Yeah.
Minds must be in sync. And when we connect with each other, let's use a modern term, the vibes begin to flow.
So let me ask you a question. The vibe still flowing right here?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Can I tell you something? Let me
Vibes
something.
don't stop flowing.
Can I say something?
I can't manage.
still look forward to going to bed every night.
Yes,
with her.
sir.
And if she says, "Zena, come," that's right.
Yes. Excellent.
But something we need to
and-
anchor. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I usually come because guess what? I have to put him to sleep. He does not sleep or even sleep deeply. So I'm his masseuse. I rub his foot every night.
Oh, wow.
And I know the parts to touch to get him to sleep.
Wow. You're being pampered at home, man.
Oh, yes.
And it all happens behind closed doors. But let me go back to how there's an important point about sexuality.
Yes.
Human sexuality is not a human devising. Our sexuality was conceived in the mind of God. So when he said to Adam and Eve, be fruitful and multiply, they did not have to ask him, how Lord? Because he had already built that in them. So it was conceived in the mind of God. Unfortunately, sin has warped
Yes.
our sexuality. And now Hollywood and Bollywood and Nollywood running away with it.
And giving it the wrong.
Smeared it so badly
Right.
that even in the church sometimes people are fearful
Yes.
to speak about sexuality because it's a wrong subject.
It is.
And it is as equal as important as talking about diet.
That's
It's as equal as talking about fasting and prayer.
And maybe that's why young persons have so much challenges, because they are not told about it, they are not taught it,
Yes.
and that's what parents are for. But if parents don't know it, they cannot impart it.
And then we also have the wrong impression of sexual satisfaction.
Correct.
So if we already have the wrong impression of sexual satisfaction, then you will never feel satisfied.
Well, I'm going to use a real term now. Now you turn me on. because when you talk about sexual satisfaction in mainstream society, sexual satisfaction tend to be a matter for men.
Men, yes. True.
So a
And
woman
that is
must
so wrong.
satisfy
Satisfy
her
you,
man.
man.
And there could be nothing further from God's intent. Both are to be mutually satisfied.
That's
The
right.
challenge, however, and we need to do is a little clinical here, because when God made the human body,
Yes.
he must have designed it this way. And sorry, he knew why he designed it. So that the sexual libido hormone, testosterone, produced by the male testes, the male produces about 70% of testosterone. And the female produces about 20%. But that wasn't a mistake God made. You see, what he intended is that I, Anthony Gordon, must find a way.
That's right.
When my testosterone is high in my blood, I must find a way to turn her on.
That's right.
And get
Switch her
her
on.
up, switch her on.
And get
and
her
you know,
up to where you want
interestingly,
to go.
you know something? The way God designed it is that when she, and may I speak out of experience?
Go ahead. Remember, this is a family station, okay?
When she is healthily turned on,
Mercy.
you better keep up.
You better keep up, okay? Which means that you better not turn her on if you can't keep up.
And that's the way, you see. And it's all about how we see each other and feel about each other in the mind. So one thing I want to correct quickly,
Yes.
sexual relationship in marriage is not for the satisfaction of the husband.
Husband alone.
It's for the mutual satisfaction. And part of the skill, technique, that the husband need to learn is how to. And trust me, it's part of education
Yes.
as much as it is part of skill.
Skill.
Okay.
And that is why
Go ahead.
the couple needs to talk about it, and they need to learn each other.
Each other, right? Because
The what this one likes and that one, and, so they are mutual.
yes, you have to communicate. You know, 50 years of marriage is no small achievement. My husband and I are just banking, looking on to the 4th year. And sometimes I feel like I want to send him back. So, you know, how do you account for such accomplishment? You know, how has it been for 50 years with, you know, and I'm not saying 50 years with one person because, you know, that is, you know, the ideal, but I'm just saying, you know, the different personalities, you know, how has it been?
I tell you, it has not always been good, and what they call it, hunky-dory.
You know,
But,
we just live happily
ever
ever after. There's no
And you go and sail off into the ocean.
But over the years, I have grown, and I'm sure he too, to develop trust. I never ever found him going back on his word, so I have learned to trust him. And out
Trust
of the
is a very-
trust
Yes.
comes the love, comes the care, to the point that I try to overdo. And love begets love, because when I overdo, he tries to overdo.
That's
And
right.
so
So
we
so
grow.
it's a healthy competition, right? And there's another matter of mutuality, looking out for each other. Let me tell you something. If I'm out eating and let's say things are not plenty at home, and I'm really dining with a friend, you know, sometimes I'm nearly eating with a guilt. Because I say, oh God, and if I can pinch a little something and put
tuck it.
away.
You're going to pinch it to
Yes,
put away.
because that's what Paul talks about. And as she said, we're not perfect, but we're thriving towards it. That's what I talk about. Treat your wife as your own
As your
body.
own body.
And it is something that we are working towards.
Amen. And we're out of time for this
Oh.
episode. But if you were supposed to tell a couple just starting out one word to keep them to reach to 50 years, what would that one word be?
I tell you, it's the same trust, you know,
Trust.
because it is just so, and it is something that's developed.
Yeah, that's right. Over time.
Because I oftentimes I say this, I feel special to God.
Yeah.
I call myself God's spoiled child because I think Anthony is one of God's nature's special gift
Amen.
to mankind, and I'm
you have it for
fortunate
yourself.
fortunate
Wonderful.
to have him.
As we
Yes,
come to
yes,
the end of today's program, we are reminded that healthy families don't just happen by accident, they happen by intention.
is
Scripture
right.
tells us that love is patient, love is kind, and love knows no record of wrong. But love also requires wisdom, humility, and sometimes healing. We've learned today from Dr. Gordon and Mrs. Gordon that relationships, just like physical health, must be cared for,
Right.
nurtured, and treated when they are hurting. I want to thank both of you for joining us in our big white chair, and I want to thank you for your transparency and your decades of service and your commitment to strengthening families God's way. Join us next time, our Blessed TV family, as we continue this conversation and take a deeper look at the crisis facing our families today. Until then, may God bless your home, your relationships, as we journey towards a healthier family. Thank you all for joining us today.